So now this is going to put your knowledge of quadratics to the test. Here we go. First things first. Here's a quadratic function. Notice it's opening down. Beautiful. I'm going to say negative x squared plus 3x plus 10. I'm going to do a quick sketch of it just to show me where it is. Let that equal to 0. Again, multiply both sides by negative 1, giving you x squared minus 3x minus 10. You don't care that that still is multiplied by minus 1. Just remember that it was opening down. That's what's important. Okay? So notice that that's opening down. PSA, here we go. You know that that's 10, minus 10. You know that that's minus 3. So that's going to be minus 5. And of course, times it by 2. Minus 5 plus 2, you know the values are at minus 5 and 2. So check this out. X minus 5, x plus 2, you know that equals to 0. Perfect. Throw that in there. Let's see what happens. X equals to 5 then, and x equals to minus 2. Yes? Yes. Put that on this number line right here. There's minus 2, there's 5, right? Okay, we know minus 2, there's 5. We know that negative shows us that it's going to be opening downwards. Now, we want values that are greater than. Obviously, from this graph, obviously, we know that those values are in between those 2 points right there. No ifs, ands, or buts. We know that the x lies between the minus 2 and the 5. No questions asked. Yes, I know. I know my answer is going to be minus 2, x, 5. I know that's going to be the answer. But when you get into the higher levels of mathematics, it may not necessarily be that clear. Know what I mean? So we have to look at something called intervals and test points in order to figure this out. The best thing you can do, put down the critical points, just like I did, right? Pick numbers in between. I'm going to pick numbers in between. I'm going to pick the easiest number in the world. I'm going to pick 0. I'm also going to pick numbers out here, which is minus 3. I'm also going to pick a number out here, which is things like plus 6. And that's my interval. So my interval first off is I'm going to be from minus 2 that way. So my interval is going to be from x less than minus 2. My test point I'm going to use is x equals to minus 3. Look at this. I'm going to pick an interval between minus 2 and 5. So x is going to be between minus 2 and 5. My test point, of course, best test point in the world, baby, x equals 0. And then I'm going to also pick an interval that's going out this way. I'm going to pick x greater than 5. Okay? And what point am I going to use? I'm going to use x equals to 6. There's my 3 test points. That's what they look for in written response questions, especially when you're doing calculus. They are all about intervals and test points, and you've got to be able to figure out what they are. And the easiest way to do it is do a quick sketch, throw your critical points down, throw a number line down like this, and then fill in the table. Okay, so here we go. Let's try this. Based on this guy right here. Based on this guy right here. I'm going to take this negative 3 and I'm going to put it in there. So, okay, here we go. Negative 3 squared plus 3 times negative 3 plus 10. That has to be less than 0. Let's try. Negative 3 squared is 9 minus 9 here. 3 times 3 is, again, another minus 9. I'm going to add that to 10. Look at that. Is minus 9 and minus 9, which is minus 18, plus 10 is going to give you minus 8. Is minus 8 greater than 0? Does this work? And of course, your answer would be no. Okay? Try the 0 now. 0 is really great because, of course, you know that this is minus x squared plus 3x plus 10 has to be greater than 0. Look at that. When you put in 0, that's gone. That's gone. Is 10 greater than 0? 10 is greater than 0. It works. Yes. And then finally, our last interval, of course, is 6. And I just want to prove it. Look, minus 6. Minus 6. Okay? That's squared. Plus 3 times 6 plus 10. Is that greater than 0? I don't know. Minus 6 squared is minus 36, right? Because 6 times 6 is 36 with a negative on the outside. 3 times 6 is going to be 18 plus 10. That's going to give you 28, 30, minus 36 plus 28 is not going to be greater than 0. So this, of course, is no. That doesn't work. That's how test points work. And I'm going to do another question coming up in a next podcast, exactly the same, but I think the key to this is being able to find those critical points and sketch it and just use common sense. This interval stuff, you're going to do a lot of that come calculus, baby.